Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, good evening, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. Welcome to Talk and Sip. This Saturday night, and today is the 13th of August, 2022. August, September, 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 October, November, December. Golly gee, August, September, October, November, December. Wow, we're practically talking about Christmas already. Hey, how are you doing? Tato, my main man from South Africa. How you doing? Hope you well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk and Sip on this Saturday night. And I want to thank you so much for joining. Last week, of course, um, wasn't able to be here because, of course, it was my wedding anniversary. And I'm sure you guys will understand that you got to take that time out, really, from August the 4th, um, right on. And I always say, what are you drinking tonight? Yeah. Hey, Gary, how are you? um, I just realized I didn't send you something. I was supposed to send you something. Let me see if I can send you this. This is very. Let me see if I can send you something here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Max, how you doing? Well, one of the things that I'm drinking today, I'm just having a drink of red wine. The I'm a super good brother. I just have to listen as my phone mic is now good, but I'll join you guys next week once my laptop is back. Okay, that is Mr. Theta Cash, all the way from South Africa. Um, one who's being a good friend of the show, and one was somehow giving us his music as well, so we can use. Yeah, talking sip, ladies and gentlemen. And John KB, white wine. Are you drinking white wine? Okay, I'm good. Maxi, what are you drinking? I'm drinking red. I'm drinking. I can't sing that song because that's not what I'm doing. I'm drinking something and Red Bull. Drinking something like Red Bull. Beanie Man, I think. I'm so terrible. Peter Gale, big up, big up. I think we're gonna get some crown or something like that. Max, you're drinking fruit cocktail. It's quite nice. Okay, fruit cocktail. All right, all right. Fruit cocktail. That's good. That's good. You you have Vita. You having your crown. John KB. You having Pinot. I think you're talking Pinot Grigio. And Tato, you're having red wine. You know, I used to work with a company, and we specialized. It's Pizza Express when I first came up to the UK, and so enjoy the Pizza Express specialty was wine, even though it was pizza. Lots of wine they used to have, and things like that. So that was really fantastic, you know. Lemon Brown. Good evening from Orlando, Florida. What you drinking? What I'm drinking is this. I'm drinking red wine, and of course I've got some water on the side as well. You know, I like to have some water. You know, so there you are. You know, and I want to say, and I always say this, and Beat always say, it's what is the what is it that you want to talk about? You know, what is your topic? My Thursday show, I said it's gonna call. What's your news? What's your news? What's the news that you want? Because sometimes we are constrained by the news that is out there that everybody run to. What is your news? What is your topic? You know, um, both on Instagram, of course. If you want to see the full shebang and get involved, you can go on to YouTube. Because Instagram do not have the full shebang where it shows. Sometimes I do, sometimes not. And for persons who actually want to come into the show, and to be a guest, what you can do, there's a guest link to join the show, and you can actually be a partaker. And the link is there. That's the link. Now, if it's a situation whereby you're not able to do that, there's always around it. Just message it to you or whatever like that. Um, so that's that there. Want to get back into what? What? To get back into singing? Who's going to get back into singing? Get back into singing. You want to get back into singing, John? I don't want to get back into singing. I want to get back into rapping. For the people in the place to be. My name is Sid, the one you listen to me. I'm drinking red wine, I'm talking Sid. Data Cash from South Africa with me too. Vita Gale, she's drinking Crown. You're on KBC, drinking Pinot. I'm not sure what Lucille is having. I got the name wrong, I say it again. Lisma Brown, good evening from Hollard. She said what you drinking, but I don't know what she's drinking. Yeah. So that's it. So wave your hands in the air and wave like you just don't care. And if you like the sound of being going down, everybody say, "Oh yeah." Well, anyhow, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be doing any rapping or any singing or so like that. Skillful, city, light speaker, skillful. That's it. Skillfully put, you know. And I can do the beatbox as well if you want me to push it. Yeah, I do the beatbox. Might as well just show off, you know. If you got something, just show off a bit, you know what I mean? I'll show it off, you know. I feel shame. Don't feel shame. Everyone can get into the motion and get into the groove. You know, the thing about talking sick, ladies and gentlemen, is that it is an environment where you can come and experience somewhat of a diaspora rumbar concept setting when connections are made, ideas and current events discussed. There's even been serious connections on this show, ladies and gentlemen. Serious, high level connection, high level. You know what I'm saying? So many things can happen. You know what I mean? Straight out of Ochi. You know, I'm drinking my Jamaican stone ginger wine. I just buy in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Oh, you're in Jamaica? Okay, that's fantastic. Well, ladies, as I said, serious issues. Serious issues. You know, I saw this. Somebody sent me this article today, and it was very interesting. That I have to say, I'm gonna talk about it. It's a Mob Bay deputy mayor calls Jamaicans overseas cowards. You guys are cowards for leaving Jamaica. You guys are cowards. All of you guys overseas and gone to other land, England, America, whatever. You guys are cowards. That's what he said. The deputy mayor of Montego Bay. You are cowards. Has he got a point? Let's talk about that later. I've got the link there for the article. Let's talk about that. And in the UK, we still have the road to number 10. Who will be the next British Prime Minister? One of the things that I say at all time is that it is very important because we've got this lady here. Her name is Liz Truss, or you got Rishi Sunak. Either of them is going to be the next Prime Minister of UK. Why? Why? One is a Indian man, and the other is English, Caucasian. I have my ballot where I will be able to vote in the elections. 160,000 persons or so in the UK will be able to vote for the next Prime Minister of the UK. And the next Prime Minister, and there's my certificate of membership for the Conservative. And it's very important that persons play a part or have a part to play in the political process. It is very important for that. I say it all the while. And wherever you come from, and if you're in the United States of America, if you're in the UK, if you're in France or whatever, you should be able to get involved in the process and somehow make a difference. Now, who am I going to vote for? Everybody keep asking me that. I've been on a few BBC stations that ask, who are you going to vote for? And I said, I will vote for, and I tell you right now, this is the thing. You're going to get it from me straight up. I'm going to vote for either Liz Truss or I'm going to vote for either Rishi Sunak. How is that? Can't be better than that. I'm going to vote for either one of them. Now, who do you think I should vote for? You know, and that's going to be something. So therefore, and that's important. Who are you voting for? 160K, is that it? 160,000 persons or so, or a little bit over that, will be the ones voting to determine who is going to be the next prime minister, ladies and gentlemen. And why that is so, it is because it is within the party structure of the Conservative. It's the same thing as Labour, when Labour had it as well. It is the party members that deal with it. So it's nothing new. But many people feel a bit cheated. They feel a bit cheated because they are not able to somehow vote for the next prime minister when they were able to vote in when the prime minister became the prime minister, which is Boris Johnson. But I always qualify it and clarify with persons to say that you cannot actually vote for the prime minister directly unless you are living in his constituents. That's the reality of the whole thing. So many people, and it's the same thing like in Jamaica. You cannot vote for Andrew Holness directly unless you are living in and is a constituent member of Andrew Holness constituent. So by virtue of such, it is a democratic process of the parliamentary system. John KB said you're going to vote Rishi. All right, Rishi, you're going to vote for? Rishi's the man you want. And the person say differently. Oh yeah, not general election, bear me, just waking up. Don't worry, that's all right. We're all waking up. To be honest with you, there could be a general election at some point soon. Many people are believing that there's going to be a general election. There's going to be a call for a general election. That always happens. That always happens anytime you have a change of government or a change of prime minister within the party system or within the party structure. The opposition always calls for a general election so someone can say, you need your mandate, you need your mandate. My only thing is that I say is that it's unfortunate that they are not working towards trying to get people together, the different political leaders together, to sort out this crazy crisis we're having. I'm having some flashing lights here. I don't know. Anybody see a flashing light? Flashing light. It's sung by Kanye West. Flashing lights. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it there. Let's turn on this music here. Now, the other thing also, which is very interesting, ladies and gentlemen, and it is independence. 1962, Jamaica gained independence. 1962, Jamaica gained independence. Am I speaking something factual or not? Did Jamaica gain independence? Celebrations recently say Happy Independence Day. Many people are celebrating Independence Day. 60 years of independence. But are we independent? Is Jamaica independent? That's a big question. Is Jamaica independent? I've put that question out there. I'm seeing the flashing lights again. If Jamaica is independent, then why are Jamaicans or the government ministers, the prime minister, swearing allegiance to the Queen? Think about that for a second. I put it to you. What do you say? Is Jamaica independent? What happened in 1962? Was it a con? Is it a fake? Is it that it was a process leading towards ultimate independence? Think about it for a second. Is it leading to ultimate independence, a process, or we have not attained yet? Somebody that I was speaking today, and they say, we will meet up when we have true and ultimate independence when Jamaica become a republic. I got a video which I did, and I did it on TikTok. I'm gonna see if I can actually play it. Where is it? Yeah, here's the video. Here's the video. I'm gonna play it because it combines two things. It combines the whole thing regarding this. Is that the right video? I don't know if that's the right video actually. Is that the right video? Maybe that's a different video. Well, anyway, let me play this video. This morning I went to the petrol station and it's at 1.172. So I was saying to the guys that the car owner virus is lifting. I mean to say the virus for car owner virus, those who know what is car owner virus, is lifted, where you're not getting this heart palpitation whenever you go to the petrol station and getting petrol. So it's going down. But if it is going down, why the oil, electric and gas for home keeps going up, and they're talking about off gems or whatever like that is going to be increasing it? I just can't get that. I don't know if you can get that. Somebody can tell me how that works, because I'm trying to wrap my brain to say, why are they talking about increase when things are going down at the same time? It's a scam. Anyway, coronavirus is sort of dropping as well because the petrol at the pumps are going down. What can I say? But it's a scam. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a scam. Let me know what you think. Okay. Well, that has to do with the con. I would say it's a con, the biggest con around. And that is regarding the high cost of living as a result of the increase in petrol, increase in gas, electric at home, gas at home, petrol at the pumps. But I realize also that even where I live, close by, where I sometimes dance, and sometimes people see me dancing, it's a Shell petrol station. It was at 1.89 about a couple of weeks ago, and it's at 1.72 today and yesterday. And I was reading something which was very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you have been following this whole thing regarding and specific to the United Kingdom. And that's why I call it a scam. Sometimes they say Jamaica have the greatest scammers, all those guys who are out there scamming people. Well, here's a scam, ladies and gentlemen. Right? After the announcement by the Bank of England, there's something very wrong in the system, it says. And I'm reading something which was posted. You may have seen it. So let me get this straight. British Gas made a profit of 1.3 billion between January and June. 1.3 billion between January and June. Yeah? BP announced profits of 6.95 billion between April and June alone. BP, British Petroleum, announced profits of 6.95 billion between April and June alone. April and June. Shell has profited by 9.4 billion in a year. Right? And listen to the men at the top now. Think about those profits. Remember they say, things are going bad, John Pettigrew, boss of National Grid, received 6.5 million. I'm talking pounds. These are all pounds. Bonus on top of his salary. Chris O'Shea, chief executive of British gas owner Centrica, was paid almost 2 million last year in salary and benefits. Centrica, non-executive directors were paid almost 1 million. Scottish Power CEO Keith Anderson is on 1.15 alone. Eon boss Michael Lewis is on 1 million. EDF Simon Rossi is also on 1 million. and their top execs enjoy a share of 4.65 million. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just flagging that up there just to show you that with the high cost of inflation, the high cost of gas, high cost of petrol, these guys are taking it. These guys have made so much money during the course of the whole thing. Yeah. But the other snag to the whole thing is this. They talk about let's tax them, windfall tax. And so the windfall tax is now asked for by the government. And government is challenging these companies. And guess what? When they get this windfall tax, they're going to give it back to the people and say, hey, hold on upon this, hold on upon a 200 pound, hold on upon a 150, hold on upon that, hold on upon that. Right? So they take the money from you, rip you off, and then guess what they do? They come back and they give you a little piece in and say, hold on upon that little plebs. Guys, this is serious. Don't take it lightly. I've been talking about this. Critical thinking. Critically thinking. That's why I named this program Critically Thinking. Right? Let me see what is that. Trick Royce, the 5.9 X King crooked. Well, I'm gonna know what that's saying. Trick Royce, the 5.9. Who's that? Talk to me about that. So who are you? Who and you there, Mr. Baldi? I have no idea who is Mr. Baldi. I presume a Baldi person is a person without any hair. You know, you want to hear this? Where you want to hear, Miss D? Who you want to hear? Who name is? I don't want to know D. I don't want to know who is Mr. Baldi. I've never been called Mr. Baldi, so I would not claim and acknowledge that. But because I'm the host of the show, I've got to sort of say it out, you know? Exactly. One thing I like about Instagram is the moderation. I think YouTube has that also. I might just block that person for myself anyway. Like speaker. Which person? I don't know which person that is, you know? And so the other thing which I was looking at there is how can schools and organizations be helped by overseas Jamaicans? What can Jamaicans do without waiting for the government to assist places like Jamal, places like schools, which are down there? I mean, lots of Jamaicans overseas have clothes from their children and you know, throwing them. I mean, I've got stuff in the garage, you know what I mean? And so I think one of the things I spoke about the last time I had the show the week before was saying that we want to somehow use the show and to assist companies, not companies, organizations, charity, just to be a part of the solution. That's what I like to say, being a part of the solution and to help. And hopefully we can get some people on to talk about that as well, you know? Light speak, D. Samuels, yeah, laugh. Lester gonna get blocked. No, block Lester. I ain't not block Lester. Another ballet. And he's he's talking himself. Oh, yeah. That's what he's doing. Let's start talking about himself, man. Let me talk about himself. You know? They always say a ballet call himself. What, you know? Baldi. Maybe I could do a rap called Baldi. Yeah. Baldie and call it a rap or something like that. Not a ballet too. But, you know, I've been bald from I can recall, you know, from in Jamaica days. And if I actually have any hair come up, it comes around the other side here to the back, and then it will show that I'm really bald. But many people think that it's a style, but actually I'm bald. So, you know, you know. But and by the way, what's the situation with this young lady here? Have they found her? Have they found Donnelly yet? And what I can say, have they found her yet? You know, the guy. I think I read something like the guy was didn't turn up, or he turned up, or whatever like that. So let's hope that they can find this young lady. And I heard that another lady named Gail and her name is Gail, who was found in a lawyer's house with a girlfriend or so, who also died. Um, but that is happening all over the world. It's not something prone to Jamaica only. But hey, let's welcome guys. Anyone want to come in the show? I look forward to you. But let's I set my stage already. Let me see if I can find this article on this geezer here. I'm gonna call him a geezer. This mayor. I think they say he's a mayor. The mayor of deputy mayor. I told a virgin of mine who's from Montego Bay to tell his father to have a chat with him and tell him to think strategically and to recognize that his utterance no make no sense. And I think I saw a lady. I don't know if she's a comedian or what. She keep all her videos keep having a go at Jamaicans overseas, saying them a beard and say all these different things. Maybe people are trying to get what should I say? You know, maybe they're trying to get likes or so like that. But sometimes these things are not really funny. But hey, I'll get to the article. This what do you say? In a lawyer's house, case closed. Yeah. No, it's not funny. Yeah, they said they found her there. So it says she's a social media influencer. Ladies and gentlemen, remember to share the video, share this on YouTube, Facebook, and it's also on Twitter. I was looking at and reading this article by this guy here. Mobay deputy mayor called Jamaican expats cowards. Montego Bay deputy mayor Richard Vernon has taken a swipe. Let me just turn off this music here. Let me just get this music down. Wait. Vernon insisted that patriotic youths should stay in Jamaica and build their country. Only cowards run away to go to America. Right? I don't know. I think my windows are open and I hear some sounds. And I got some foxes in the back in the garden. So the lights didn't come up. So I was checking if some foxes were trying to get inside. If you see me run, I say, it's some foxes. Let me sort of read this. I couldn't read it properly. I had the wrong glasses. Vernon insists that patriotic youth should stay in Jamaica and build their country. Only cowards run away to go to America because they are seeking out opportunity. Opportunities are there overseas. So do not run away and leave your country, especially leaving indefinitely. You don't want to contribute to the further development of your country, said Vernon. You same ones who are saying that the country is not going with anything, what are you doing to develop your country? They made a sacrifice in America, all the first world countries, so they can live that you admire. So do the same for your country and your parish. It is broadly accepted that nearly 3 million Jamaicans live beyond the island shores, many of whom keep families back home afloat with their remittance funds. Net remittance inflow in 2021 total $3.393 billion US dollars. Right? What do you think about his comments? I mean, because everything has got to be taken into context. In context. He's actually saying that people should not leave Jamaica, because if you leave Jamaica, you're contributing to the undevelopment, because he says if you stay, you contribute to the development. That's what he's actually saying. So if you go away, you're contributing to the undevelopment. I think he's a bit short-sighted and he needs some counsel. And but at the same time, it is always room for discussion in everything. I always believe that in everything that people utter, sometimes one needs to actually try to see if you can hear anything in what he's saying. And I'm trying to find it actually. I'm actually trying to find what he's actually saying, or is he trying to go viral? Vernon also said that Jamaicans do not need to conform to the subculture of lottery scamming, which is good, and that's correct, or otherwise illicit schemes in order to succeed. I see some person somewhere, little ways endorsing scamming, say the government is not providing enough jobs, and so persons have to turn to scamming. You do not need to chop the line, and you do not need to scam because there are other ways out, said Vernon. So you see, when people are making comments, sometimes if one don't read it, one can actually just grab onto one thing and miss out on the other things. I don't agree with the coward bit, because one of the things that I recognize is that being overseas, many people contribute. I remember in the early days when you don't have to send money online or whatever like that, people used to be going to, a lot of old ladies would go to the Western Union from the UK, and they would be lining up and they would be sending money to their family back home in Jamaica, and that contributed. And they always talk about that at Diaspora conferences, of how it has contributed to sustaining families and indirectly sustaining the economy. So they may deem or considered to be cowards, but at the same time, they're actually working very hard, and they're not here playing around. People are doing 2-3 jobs. Yes, it's cold, bitter at times, but that's the way it goes. And I believe that as Jamaicans overseas, even for myself, I believe that I play a role in Jamaica, even just by the connecting with Jamaicans here, connecting with Jamaicans everywhere, and doing the best that I could to be an ambassador. I think we're all ambassadors in a way for Jamaica, because if anything happens to us or something goes bad, they say, he's a Jamaican again, or whatever like that. And they will actually use the negative thing and say you're Jamaican. And if you're positive, sometimes if you got your status and you're British, they say British and they leave out the Jamaican bit. But if something goes wrong, then they actually say Jamaican. So you are indirectly an ambassador. And one of the things that I recognize as well is there are issues in Jamaica that persons back home might not want to talk about, or because of their jobs or because of their association. Then persons overseas, they can whisper to them and they can say it. Like I can say a lot of things because no politicians in Jamaica pay me. I'm not, I don't have to worry about being, sabotaged or so by someone, if anything. So I can raise issues, I can raise points. And these points which is raised play a fundamental role in the thinking. I do recall I used to get a lot of lectures of a day. I used to write a lot to the newspapers in Jamaica while here in the UK, looking at different things. And, being a part of it, contributing to the development of countries, not just by remittance, but somehow by, intellectual discourse, the whole discussion with the diaspora from 2004 when it started, being involved with that, playing a part in that, playing a role in that. Then after a while, they realize that it is just a talk shop, and they just pull out. So I'm not being involved in that sort of thing directly anymore. Disagree but agree, but holding two arguments in contention is not always my strongest suit. I guess what you're saying, Light Speaker, is that you disagree but agree. So there are ways you agree with what that person say, and ways you may disagree with what that person actually say. But the bit I mentioned earlier about getting involved even in politics, when I flash my envelope that shows that I've got a ballot to vote for the next Prime Minister of the UK, being the fact that I'm a member of the Conservative Party here. And sometimes people don't like to hear that, to say that I'm a conservative in the UK. But I believe that persons have a right to determine and to decide where they want to put their X or who they want to support. Just because you may run for or involved with a political party doesn't mean to say that you you have to be agree with everything. No, you don't have to agree with everything, because the same political leaders or the same persons who are running to be the new prime minister of the UK, you can see based on the debates, they don't agree with everything, right? They have different views along the way. But the most important thing that one needs to think about is this, and that is where the critical thinking comes in, is that these persons, or the list of persons who were running before, and it's whittled down to two, is the strongest non-white, non-Caucasian. I'm not going to use the word ethnic minority because I don't like the word minority or ethnic minority. So I said non-Caucasian, right? One was African, Pakistan, Indian, and so, and who is running now is an Indian. An Indian could be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Rishi Sunak, the former Chancellor, or it's going to be Liz Truss, who is British, English. It is pointing more towards Liz Truss based on the polls. But many persons, when the polls are not going their way, they say the only polls that they deal with is the ballots on the day when it's not going their way. So it's not going into Rishi Sunak way at this moment for the polls, not showing that he's going to be the winner. It is more pointing towards Liz. Now, many persons will say, and Gary say, and different persons say that not going to happen. That will never happen. As a guy that look a video of a guy that comes on, sometimes I see this guy. That will never happen, whereby an Indian man or a black person becomes the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. They say it'll never happen. But all I say that I do recall this conversation that took place also when Barack Obama was running to be the Prime Minister, the President of the United States of America. Many people were saying that not gonna happen. That will never happen. That's what they were saying. It will never happen. And guess what? Barack Obama has been the President of America for 2 terms. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 terms. And Barack Obama said one time when they were giving the State of the Union and someone was a bit rude to him or so, racist sort of undertone, he said, this is what he said: I can win you again. I can win you again. Right? It's just that I do not have that term. There's no Jamal in Jamaica. Okay. Well, I guess Vita, I think you're wrong. I think Vita, you're telling me something about Jamal, so that's why I said I didn't know Jamal doesn't exist anymore. But anyway, just a terminology there. One don't have to get too specific these days. I was just using the terminology that Team Docker, that anything Jamaica can actually, if people can support, because persons that flag it up to me, so I said I'll just use a conduit. I won't lead on it. It is interesting though, because the Jamaica Sunshine basketballers, netballers, these ladies, they are down on money for something which they need to do or whatever like that. And there's an article that came out saying that, what the article say? They're going to be feted or have a celebration by the minister. I think it's Babsy Grange. And, and then I said, why not a celebration? They love celebration so much, you're spending so much money. Why not give them that money or give them a portion of that money? And somebody said to me, why don't I start a GoFundMe? I said, why should I start a GoFundMe? They're not representing, they're representing Jamaica, the government, their responsibility. Why start a GoFundMe? That's just my perspective. But I would like to show off these things, you know what I'm saying? Gershom Allen, long time man. What's up, boss? Maybe you need to come on and give us some motivation. I'll send you the link, man, if you want to come on and so like that. I like it. The motivation thing is really good. I get up early in the morning and I walk in the park, and I I think it is very inspirational. I think it is very motivational. I think it is very uplifting. I've even seen Jamaicans when I'm walking. I saw a lady in the park one time, a good friend of mine, walking in the park. They showed them and said, what go on? You know what I mean? Everywhere you go, there is a Jamaican, ladies and gentlemen. Everywhere you go, you'll find a Jamaican. And that is very beautiful and that is very awesome. Go with it everywhere. You know, there's a link, Gershom, if anything. Let me see. I might come in after that. Yeah. So the whole thing is that Jamaicans play a fundamental role, but what I'd love to see is instead of everyone running for one particular party, spread your wings and fly. Spread your wings, going to that party, going to that other party, spread your wings, because that's what the Asians do in the UK. That's what the Asians do in America. You know, they spread their wings and they soar and they fly. You know, and it's very interesting that there was a conversation that I had with a good friend today in a group, and I'm going to relay this point here. Critically thinking. It says, President, Jamaica is a transshipment port. I'm going back again. I'm going back and forth. This is talking sipping. You drink and you talk. You know what I mean? Let me hear your views. Comment. I can keep talking. You know what I'm saying? Anybody want to come on? Let me know. Yeah. Jamaica is a transshipment port. The descendants of the enslaved still longs for a new Jerusalem. Apart from that, all living organisms move away from an aversive stimulus to a more tolerable condition. That was that the descendants of the Middle Passage are constantly searching for a place to call home. Yeah? I repeat. This is what somebody said. Jamaica is a transshipment port. The descendants of the enslaved still longs for a new Jerusalem. Apart from that, all living organisms move away from an aversive stimulus to a more tolerable condition. Tolerable. The descendants of the Middle Passage are constantly searching for a place to call home. Think about that. So what that is saying actually is Jamaicans are going all over the place. Or make it say it a bit more. Black people are going all over the world, and somehow what we're not seeing and what is not happening, you know, is this whole thing which is called a push towards Africa. A push towards calling the base Africa. You know, in the UK with this new policy which is called the Rwanda policy. The Rwanda policy is something which is developed by the Conservative Party to deal with the high level of refugees which is coming on the high seas by the people smugglers. So what they say, we're going to create this policy where they will go to, where they're going to go? Send them to Rwanda. For what they're going to do when they go to Rwanda? You're going to be sorting out the paperwork there. Get them to bill and get them to do Rwanda. I say bill because I think that immigrants tend to build and build wherever they go. Immigrants build America. Immigrants build England. But one of the things that have been said a lot is, why send them to Africa? What Africa have for them? Them leave. Why are you sending them to Africa? And I always say, what is wrong with Africa? What is wrong with Rwanda? And nobody can seem to answer that question. What is wrong with Africa? What is wrong with Rwanda? Because somehow there's this thinking in our mindset that Africa is not good and Africa is backward. But if they were going to be sent to America, if they were going to be sent to, what should I say, Switzerland, I'm sure nobody would have a problem with that. You know, Remington give Jamaica 3.3 billion annually. So why Jamaica don't reject the money then? Yeah, man. Tell them that, boss. Tell the guy that down in Montego Bay. That's these Samuels may never get an invite to the show, man. Maybe the host lost my number. Right. Let me check something. Ready? Are you ready? Ready like Freddy? Let me just turn up my music here because a bashment time now. This is bashment. This is bashment. Actually, I think I have to change the music. I have to put a very more jazzed up music, or so. Maybe I have to find something like let's try to find something like a hip hop. Hip hop, yeah. No, that's not good. Let's get it. I need to find a music. Good? Is that good? Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna try to write music.
And what else?
Is that a crown?
See what that is? That's the crown.
That's a crown royal. That's a crown royal. Well, that you need to come. You'll need to come to the UK at some point to actually have audience with the Queen before she goes. You know. And why am I getting a delay? What's going on there? What are you using? Your phone or your laptop? Is it phone? Let me ask.
I can sign back in on my laptop.
Keep talking. How are you? Keep talking. Let me hear. Keep talking.
I am doing great. Life is good. Take the music off and let's see what happens.
Let me get that out there.
There you go. Is that better?
Yeah, keep talking.
Okay. So how are you, my brother from Ochi, straight out of Ochi?
Straight out of Ochi. Me also some new man. I said, boy, them a Ochi man now. Them a Ochi man. Them call themselves Ochi man. Some other ballad man.
They get their citizenship for Ochi. So they have they only need to swear in now. The state of Ochi, and they were approved.
Really? So that means they say, do I have to go home to swear in that person, or can do virtually?
I think there's a still burn to do the swearing in but he's officially one of us now.
So okay, so he's been approved, but he's not sworn in yet.
Here you come in.
Right. All right.
Drink to that.
Yeah. Gary is saying, hey Vita.
Hey Pastor, how you doing? You're coming to talk.
Are you sure that no kickback from the orange guys? I don't know. This is orange guys, and what is orange guys and these green guys? What is this? We need to move away from these rubbish, orange and green. Jamaica is, we're all Jamaicans, man. We're all one people, in it.
And that's how until burn me.
I'm being facetious, Don't get me. I'm not so serious when I say that,
I'm you're serious. So I want to know. Do you have
actually, I want it. I'm losing you a bit. Just
I'll come back in.
Come out and come back in.
I will come back in on my laptop.
Okay, let's see what I make. I don't want to lose the words here. Okay, good stuff. Yeah. I'm having problems connecting. Gary, you're having problems connecting. What are you having problems connecting, man? What are you having problems connecting? You need to connect to the Holy Ghost. Innit? Let me see if I can, Yes, Lord. Rumping shop start. Are you oh boy. Some vroom. Can I just ask if I can be heard very clear? Is it very clear? Is it very clear or so? Don't know if there's a Ladies and gentlemen, those on Facebook and those on YouTube, remember to like and share. Just share the show, send it to your mother, your father, your brother, and everybody, you know. Tell them say the biggest thing going on right now. With their rum bar. With their rum bar, I drink. We're drinking Holy Ghost. Can you hear me loud and clear? Fantastic. Gary, can you hear loud and clear? Keep trying, Gary. Don't make Vita beat you. Let's see who can get in first. You know? I'm trying to do something here. I can't just let me see if I can. Yes. Yeah. Jacqueline up it. Good. Yeah. Can you loud and clear? Yeah, so going back now, Vita's gonna come back, ladies and gentlemen. And we were talking about where were we on? We're talking about Jamaicans overseas and how this mayor, this deputy mayor of Montego Bay, was saying that Jamaicans that go overseas, you guys are cowards. You're cowards. You don't want to stay and build a country. You run gone. Well, I must say there are different type of Jamaicans at the same time that go overseas. And some go overseas for holidays. Some go overseas to study. Some go overseas because of families. So sometimes when I hear some of these utterances by persons and people send them to me, I sometimes wonder if I should share it or discuss it. Or am I giving it legs? Should it be critically analyzed or should it be shut down? What do you guys think? When somebody say things like that, should it be shut down and just silence it? Or should it be explored to see what is the thinking in the person's mind? Why someone think like that? Right? And because I've been listening a lot and I've been reading a lot on critical thinking, critical analysis, and that is why the other day when the whole independence was going on, I do note something that a lot of persons did not put up on their status happy independence. Some key individuals. And I was speaking to someone today from Jamaica and he said, did you notice that certain persons did not put it up? I said, yeah, you're right. Silence is golden and silence is loud and silence is powerful. Silence where just because they don't put it up, they are sending a strong message. Because in 1962, it wasn't independent. Now they say that Manley and Bustamante, I think Bustamante got a statue recently, they were the architect of independence. But was that a fake independence? You see, the British colonial system somehow has conned Jamaica for years, right? When slavery was abolished, what they did, they paid off all their people, made them very wealthy. And they even talk about David Cameron, former prime minister, or his families. They benefited from that. All right? I can hear the foxes outside. My lights just went up now. So if any moment now, a fox might just jump in the house. Yeah! So therefore, one could say that it was a con. And therefore, those who are actually keep talking about it as if it was, blogging God, brethren, forget about Jamal, man. Just a principle, man. Is your wife telling about Jamal? Ask that. Rita, you know what? Hold on, I can't hear you now.
You can't hear me because I didn't say anything.
Okay, cool.
What conversation is my husband saying? Why don't he join?
You said me about Jamal. But you tell me about Jamal the other day. Jamal not there for the Jamaica anymore. I don't know. Is Jamal still there?
Why is he not? Is he coming on?
Is it Jamal or is it Bellevue? What are we talking about?
We weren't talking about Jamal. We're talking about Bellevue.
Bellevue.
But Jamal is another topic as far as that's what they do. Like in America, they have the GED for adults. Jamal was kind of like that. I remember as a kid, I used to volunteer as a teenager to help teach Jamal to teach the elders, the adult that was not able to read.
So it does play a fun. I think a lot of these things is a principle behind what we're talking about. The principle of the whole issues of supporting Jamaica. But you said before you left and to come back in, you're specific on something. You're specific on an issue. Was it the mayor of Montego Bay? The deputy mayor?
You're just gonna place me like that. All right, fine. Silburn, I live here in the States, and I left Ochi when I was in my 20s, early 20s.
Yes.
And I came here and I went back to school. And if anyone that traveled knows that when we reach the States or we reach another country, we have to work sometimes 10 times as hard to be successful. Yeah. Or some of us come here and it's so tough that we end up in the gutter. Some of us end up homeless. Some of us end up all kind of situation reach most of us but the Jamaican culture as far as surviving and push and the motivation that we were told that we were limitless and we can do anything that we want is what pushed us to come here and be successful. The word that Vernon used as far as coward is disrespectful, and what he should have done, he need to take a class in critical thinking, and they do teach critical thinking classes in college in America. Jamaica need to start having classes like that, because a leader in the country who is going to use those words, because people are motivated and ambitious enough to step out of their comfort zone to go make a greater living, a better living. This morning my husband schooled me when it comes to politics because he's very knowledgeable. And when we look at what the Prime Minister of Jamaica make, most of us here are making more than the Prime Minister. So him there working and volunteering his time to do the work. Vernon is only making $6 million per year. So therefore, which is what I probably spent when I was in Jamaica last week. So a lot of us are living here and we are living good because we decided to step out of the slum that some of us live in. There's slum in America too, yes.
Yeah.
But if we decide to step out and to get a better living, who are you to call us coward? Who are you to look in the mirror and saw what you are as a coward to come and call us coward? You need to take classes in critical thinking, and if you're a leader, you need to learn how to speak and how to address your audience and who you're speaking with. Because we spend 1 second, let me finish the sentence and let it go. We send almost millions every year to Jamaica. We are the one who invested in Jamaica to make sure that Jamaica is surviving now. When COVID hit, there was a line for Western Union that police have to go there, the soldiers have to go there for the crowd that was out there, that we are sending money back to Jamaica to make sure that our family there are surviving. So when he's going to use his coward self and use that word, that's just disrespectful. Or I could say that he's not knowledgeable enough to understand the words that he's using, that you don't project yourself to other people. Silburn, go ahead.
My grandmother, my late grandmother from Colgate in the Ochi, should I say, is a pronoun, and just say he need to learn to be a proper noun. You know, old people tend to speak. She would say he's a pronoun. And I sometimes try to listen to these persons at times, and I'd said, do you shut him down? Do you analyze it? Are they trying to go viral or something like that by making these statements? Because there's a girl somebody sent me this video of this girl. I don't know if she's a comedian or what. She's having a go every minute. All her videos are having a go at Jamaicans overseas. Uno don't beard. Uno, so many different. It's just so disgusting. But people are saying she's a comedian, and I find it very offensive at the same time. And when this guy actually make that sort of statement, there, you wonder, does he understand what he's actually saying? Does he know that Jamaicans overseas are very patriotic?
Yes, we
even though
are.
even though I mean, every Saturday night I come on here, it's the topic is mostly about Jamaica. We lick out against Jamaica. Why? Because we care about Jamaica. We hear about the crime. We hear about the missing of Donnelly. Actually, that guy named Andre Stevens and those other guys, they get a lot of their following from overseas because people are so concerned about Jamaica.
And we are. And
Mm.
we spend a lot of times as Jamaicans. We spend a lot of times as Jamaican investing back in Jamaica, talking about Jamaica, promoting Jamaica 24/7. We talk about Jamaica. And yes, the person that is saying that Jamaicans don't bathe or whatever the case, maybe depends on if they're Jamaican, and
Or maybe it's relating to her family and our network.
Right, maybe what she's saying as far as our family don't do it. But I know that I'm from Ochi and I live near the river, and I know that I shower every morning at 5 o'clock to go to school growing up, and every child do this, and we shower in the evening before we go to bed because we play outside all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes Saturday and Sunday when we are home, it's so hot. We shower during the day, and we're always at the river. We're always at the beach. So we are using in water 24/7, right?
That's a bit there. That's a bit there because I remember when water gone at Ochi sometime. All
we
the
at the river.
father do is just take. We're all going at his bus and we go beach early in the morning, go bathe. River, no, by Fisherman Point.
Right, and Silver, in Orchard, the river meets the ocean. There's multiple places where the river runs straight into the sea, right? So therefore, we at the beach and we at the river same time. So that's something that inbred in us. That's something that we grew up living in water. So you think that we're gonna come to America and we don't show up and it's something we used to?
Yes.
Just like we wake up every morning and brush our teeth 3 times a day, is the same way we shower in America because that's something that we were trained to do. Yes, coming here in America, I learned that some people, they shower at night and during the day they don't shower to go to work. I was shocked when I saw the living of other people. Not my business. We're talking about Jamaica. So for you to say Jamaican don't shower, you don't know Jamaicans.
Dee said something about she never heard that before. I don't know what she's talking about. I think maybe she is a pronoun bit or the proper noun bit. The Oche, maybe the Oche thing. She never heard that one day from the whole thing though is that and when I was listening to the guy and people have been sending it to me, I said to them, there are certain things you don't give legs. It's like Trump. I keep saying to people all the while, the best way to deal with Trump is not to talk about Trump, not to attack him, not just let him be, isolate him. And what they do, they wake him up again by doing this thing. I don't want to go in that side there, but I was just talking about that right there. That some of these persons sometimes it's just to let them be, let them, because I remember Barrelman one time, and I know Dwight Ross. I've become good friends with him. Barrelman used to say, if you send the Barrelman and don't bring that in, I realized he was really joking after a while. I realized because he's now living in Canada, so he's not the thing. How things have turned again. Now he's in Canada.
Well, but Silver, this is the thing about, and we have talked about this and the show before, as far as we Jamaican ripping down each other.
Yeah.
And because I might stepped out of my comfort zone and got lucky because I know a lot of Jamaican asking, how can we get a visa to go to England, anywhere outside of Jamaica? I know Jamaican living in other Caribbean islands, trying to make a life. The fact is that America, which is the first world country, is having problems just like how Jamaica is having problems, right? We have homeless here. We have poverty here. We have riches here. Same thing, we have riches in Jamaica. We have poverty there. But the fact is that I know Americans living in Jamaica now because the quality of the beach and the ocean and stuff like that. So when you look at that, so if I decided to move from Orchard to go to Kingston, it's my right, and what I can do what I want to do. So you can tell me because I decide to leave, I decide to say, all right, America, give me opportunities. I went to college in Jamaica, but it wasn't feasible for me to continue at the level where I want to go. America provide a bigger
opportunity. Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do? I'm being more patriotic than him right now because I'm not calling my fellow Jamaicans cowards.
Yeah.
I'm calling them the beautiful set of people, the greatest set of people in the world.
Yes.
Except for the one coward, Vernon.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing about it. We've got to somehow find as much possible the common ground or the common denominator that we can be a plus factor in people's lives than being a tear down factor, because by just saying that, it feeds into the stereotype of there's this thing about them and us, Jamaicans, them and them overseas, them not no sense and blah blah blah, and it's just so not necessary. And by him being a leader, actually falling into that trap, it is unbecoming. And he just should. I told my good friend of mine whose father is a senior person in Montego Bay, say, can he just go and have a school him? Just school him a bit. Because sometimes people just need a bit of school, a bit of counseling. But one don't want to give him more traction, but to shut it down, because you and I have been talking about how, and I made the mistake of saying Jamal, but how Jamaicans overseas can also help schools, help Bellevue, help places, by not doing much, but by just doing a little fill the basket. You know what I mean?
Of course we can, Silbert, because look, when you're gonna walk one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, and that's what I said when I listened to this program that we're working on, one school at a time. Just start with one school and make a difference, and then it's like a domino effect. It triggers down, and that's how we Jamaica need to look at Jamaica. I am so glad I was born in Jamaica. I wouldn't want to born nowhere else in the world but Jamaica. My culture, do I agree with everything in my culture? No. But when I tell you I love my country so much and I'm living here, I love the country that I'm living in, but I love my roots. I love the way the friendliness of the people, the community, right? I was raised by my whole village.
Yes.
It's not just my parents who raised me. I was with the whole village.
Did you know Pastor Fraser?
Yes.
And he's a classic example, because walking down Milford Road, he always seemed going up to primary school to his wife.
Yes.
And you might not know him that, even though I went to school and his son was in my class, Dave, who's not a judge in Jamaica. But he's the type of person that you saw him as his figure, and he will not walk past you without saying hi. And if something is happening there with children, he will stop. He's not the type of person that will just ignore things which are not right. It was a part of that village mentality where these guys look out for us, man.
Yes. And that's the same way, right? You cannot disrespect an adult, because that adult will give you a flagging. And then what happened? You better not tell your parents. Because if you disrespect one parent, you disrespect the whole village. Your parents will give you another whooping, right? That's how the community look after each other. We used to outside playing until late hours. We are safe. That's how we grew up. Yes. Jamaica is changing now, because everybody wants this instant gratification and this freeness and this get rich quick scheme, right? And when he's talking about chopping the line, why don't he make a difference? Make a difference in a young man's life. Be a mentor to a young man.
Yes.
Why don't he make a difference? One young man at a time. One teaching the young man that you don't have to chop the line. You don't have to rob people to survive. You can make a difference. Look, yes, you want to live good, but the quality of life, what is important? Therefore, all these teachers are leaving. They're getting the opportunities. They are giving space for opportunity for more people. They are saying there's no jobs in Jamaica. Critical thinking.
Let's go back to that bit there. If there's my teacher principal of a school is saying there's 4,000 jobs short, and there are certain courses that he won't be able to do starting September, and there's a conflict with what the minister is saying. The minister is saying about 94, but they're saying 4,000. If all these teachers are leaving, well, how are you going to fill those places so quickly?
Okay, so this is where, yes, the government now needs to train more teachers. Give incentive for saying that, okay, money teachers college. Government will give this amount of scholarship. I went to Brownstone Community College on a scholarship. I know lots of my friends who went to scholarship because financially, my grandmother would not be able to pay for me to go to college. So I know that I have to get a scholarship. I know I have to work hard. That was my mentality. That was my growth mentality. So the fact is that, what are we doing? If all these teachers are leaving and nurses, there is space. Everything changed. One thing is guaranteed in life, that you're going to make a change in your life.
When you say space, are you talking about job vacancies?
Job vacancies, yes.
But having the vacancies is one thing. Okay, you did answer it by saying they need to fill it, but it's going to take a while to fill those spaces, isn't it?
Okay, agreed. But what I'm saying is that, Silburn, this should be an incentive where teachers should have been trained. You have a lot of people in Jamaica say they cannot find school, and they have degrees. You have a lot of educated Jamaicans don't have a job. Give them a teacher certification and put them in the classroom. They already have the degree. They already have the general, the knowledge, the formal education. Now give them a teacher certification, give them a course, teacher certification, get certified. Now you put them in the room. Same thing with a nurse, open up the nursing school. America is short of nurses. America is short of teachers. That's the reason why we are taking teachers from Jamaica. So it's not just Jamaica that is short of all this stuff, but the US dollar is stronger than the Jamaican dollar. So therefore, what is wrong with them looking for opportunities and making better of their family and friends?
Some teachers are actually in the Middle East. Jamaicans are in the Middle East. A lot of them are in the Middle East.
There you go. People,
a good friend of mine, Richard, is in the Middle East, and they are they're giving them great positions there. They are excelling.
Yes.
And that's the thing that Jamaicans do. And this is the guy I need to understand that when Jamaicans are overseas,
we excel.
We excel. You know what I mean?
You're
either very bad, very good.
Very good. And we are Jamaicans. That's what we are. We are very good at what we do. Yeah. If we're gonna be a criminal, we're gonna be the best criminal, right? Before I came to America, there was a posse, Jamaican posse in New York. Yeah. And they're in books now with the mafias and all, because they were good at what they do and they were bad. That's what we Jamaican do. Anything we do, Silburn, we try to be the best at what we do. We are a very unique skill set of individuals. And
I'm the best walker in the bush. I look for duppy house.
I know, right? That was so funny. Silburn, where you finding all these houses? You all over London searching for these houses.
Listen, my cousin said to me, you know, when he took me up to the UK, and he said he still marvels at how I just came and just went about and just, you know, he just marvels, and he keeps saying all the while that lots of people are here in this country as well who, this is the key thing, I had to find money to my family, which is more, so much more than how much British children have to pay, right?
And why is that? Yeah. Why is that?
Why? Because international student, being an international student, and they who are living here never had to pay. It is now they're actually paying, but they still don't have to pay right up. They get that student loan, right? And I always used to joke with them sometimes, some people, and say, I tell you what, why don't you just say you're going to go to school and give me the money? If anything, or whatever like that. But you know, we had to excel, and I've gone to different places in this country just working. I'm a worker. People say, what is it that I have? What is in my water? I say Holy Ghost water, or something like that, you know, because you just have to keep going and just keep going. But you know, you just, you know, and I guess because of the ethics, the work ethics which has been in you from growing up in Jamaica, I
Yes.
think that, and so therefore one has got to give the attributes to Jamaica. But keep what you're saying, and I'm going to go back to Africa on a point. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I will say the ethics that and the work ethics that we brought to wherever we are, it's something that we excel wherever we are because that's what we do as Jamaicans. So we are out here making a difference, representing Jamaica. I heard you said earlier, we're representing Jamaica good and bad.
Yeah.
We're ambassadors for Jamaica. We are making it work. When there's some places when I walk in, and I remember taking classes to suppress my accent, and when I just came here, and I remember now I try my best not to, because when I walk into a corporation and they hear my accent, everybody want to see which Jamaicans is in the house, because the C-suite that I'm walking on and the accent that coming out, and a Jamaica is at that level. Everybody want to see who's Jamaican is this. So we are out here representing Jamaica on a positive level. And instead of showing respect to us that we are helping to maintain Jamaica and building Jamaica, we are being called cowards.
Yes. I think what somebody said, the best thing for him is to get a public flagging at the Grand Gala. a public flagging.
Maybe that's what we need to start bringing back in Jamaica, just public flagging. Well, that's a whole other story.
When I think about that guy there, and ladies and gentlemen, for those, this is just a rum bar setting where anything chat, because we're just a chat. Vita is drinking some high level stuff. I don't know what it is. What is it? It's finished already?
Not yet. We just started.
All right. That's a new bottle. That's a new bottle.
That's a new bottle.
That's a new bottle. Because I remember when it was down there, and I'm sure she didn't fill it up with water or nothing like that. The what was I gonna say again? And it just slipped me a while ago. The rum bar setting. I was gonna say something, Vita. What was I gonna say?
You want me to read your mind to Silvern?
No,
That's the maroon part of me start doing mind reading now.
Yes, I know. I got it now.
There you go.
The guy that killed the 4 children, and I watched the funeral. Killed the 4 children and the mother, and a social worker friend of mine came back from Jamaica and said she grew up in the area and she know them. Somebody was saying that, how can he get the same life sentence like Vybz Kartel? Because Vybz Kartel is on life, isn't it?
Well, life sentence is life sentence.
I know this. I know this. How can he be on that same level after he admitting that he killed all of them? He admitted, and he said guilty. Somebody said, what you need to do with somebody like that, take them to the Grand Gala, publicly hang them like the Colosseum in Rome. And send a message to all criminals in Jamaica. That's what this is what people are saying, because
and I would totally agree.
And I'm not saying I'm advocating that, but when you look at it, the fact that this guy actually admitted that he killed the 4 of them and the mother, and then even have the audacity to say that he was defending himself when the children are running at him.
The baby was what, puking at him?
Listen, man, you should have read the thing. It's so disgusting, and and then the missing of this girl Donnelly. Nobody know where this girl is.
Well, the body is not found, but according to L.A. Lewis, the police and the police had a girlfriend. They killed her. That's what, according to L.A. Lewis, said. But
what do you think about L.A. Lewis then? We're just talking. People. When people in rum bar, when people are talking privately or so, they're talking these people. What do you think about that man? What do you think about it? Because people call him madman, but I listen to him and I watch him.
He is so brave, and it's so funny because what happened is that he's going all over Jamaica saying he's solving crimes, right? And unfortunately, people are calling him and giving him stories or whatever. So it is so funny because this man, I didn't know about him until Babsy threw him out of someplace. I don't know, Babsy have to have a restraining order against him.
He might have a restraining order against Babsy when LA come, because him say everywhere him go, she run him. If you run him out of funeral, run him.
But he's the I have a alert as far as what's new, and there was like 5,000 people and alive with him. Again, for 5 minutes, I was one of them, but and he was actually meeting Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith, that
He
guy.
did, he did what? He was meeting Kevin Smith in the woods. And I was
Hold on. You know what dopey story? Is that like me walking in the park? Is that the Blair Witch Project? That must have been
I'm
that
gonna
must be
send
dopey
you the
story.
video. I'm gonna send you the video. I'm serious. I'm serious. He was meeting Kevin Smith, the pastor, in the woods at nighttime. 5,000 Jamaican, well, I don't know if it's Jamaican people were live with him and said, "Go home, they're gonna kill you," because he's getting story about Donna Lee. And I'm gonna send you the video. It was live. People are saying, "Go home, you're gonna
Send it
get
to D.
killed."
Send it to D. Send it to D.
I will. And he walk into there's some lies where he just walk into the police station, he go up to the chief and he talk to them and exchange stories. When he meet the police on the street, I mean they're friends. So I don't know about this guy.
It's
But
a seven. It's a seven. It's a seven level.
7. So I don't know. It's Jamaica is not a real place.
Well, I call it the Jamflix series. Jamflix series.
Jamaica is not a real place. I mean, I was at work and I was just laughing. And he's on live all the time. So Thursday, it was either you and Gary or L.A. Lewis or my job.
So hold on. What about this other guy named Andrea Stevenson? Andrea Stevens.
I'm not familiar with him much.
He's got like he's like a Kevin Samuels. This guy like a 10,000 or so. He's just and he says I was watching him the other day and he said, "Okay, Jamaica, this is class time now. We're at school, we're at class." And somebody calling, and he said, "Don't call in yet. Class is still on." But listen. On a serious note, I'm not laughing, but I watched them a couple of times and I pick sense out of nonsense, and I'm not gonna call them like many people say they are madmen or anything. I'm not gonna say.
I don't actually
be very derogatory to these guys.
I'm not, and that's what I was saying. What I saw, Silver, and sorry, I didn't mean to be rude and cut you off. But what I saw, as far as he was going into the police station, he was having information. He was actually getting information on the Donnelly situation. So at the police, he's right there in the police station. So it's not like he's a madman. He's actually getting stories and he's finding bodies.
Wow. I did see something.
You haven't seen that video either.
I saw the one with some bodies and some guys bring him to some bodies.
Yes.
And nobody find.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying nobody identify who those bodies are. And I think he was saying, is this Donnelly this something like.
Jamaica is just not a real place, but it's sad. It's sad. But I was in Jamaica 2 weeks ago, and the scam in Silburn is something that I don't know what's gonna happen. My credit cards got hit about 10 times. I immediately locked my cards, right? And I mentioned this before. And today I went on a computer, and there was at least I purchased a drill. I purchased, but obviously, well, it's not so without sounding sexist. It was mostly tools, heavy duty tools they were buying. So I was assuming it was a guy, not sounding sexist. But they were buying drills and
off your card,
off my cards, power saws. So every time it hit, my card is locked. So every time it hit, my bank alert me.
Okay, so you can identify what they wanted to get.
Yeah.
Oh, but
so
they didn't
the bank
get it.
will say, this was purchased like a $10,000 was purchased a drill, but my card they will stop it. Wow. Or this merchant charge you $200, which is US, because they're not gonna take 200 Jamaican.
So where do you think then that somehow this happened? I mean, what level, what area? You think can you sort of?
It wasn't Kingstown. It wasn't Kingstown.
So you're at a point because I know, like the cards with the whole it touch phone touch cards. Somebody can maybe walk past you or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. So it seems that they have a copy of
Um,
the card because the card was used yesterday. Well, tried to use because it's locked and the bank already big stop. So, but the thing about it is that this is the Jamaica where we are going down there to spend some time in Jamaica and enjoy Jamaica, and this is what we face.
I'm grateful to HSBC because once I went to Jamaica and they stopped a transaction one time that I was doing because I did not tell them. They always say let them know if you're traveling or whatever. I did, and they called me actually. I was grateful because it was annoying and was inconvenience, but in a way, I look back now and in hindsight, I was glad that they do that because I just show
Yeah,
that
and
they're looking
and
out
I
for you.
set up, yeah, I set up my card like that. So they tried to take out $13,000, but I set it for just 500 per day. So therefore, it bank alert and said, "Is this you?" I'm like, no, So the fact is that, but this is the Jamaica that the instant gratification, the get what you don't want. And I guess we should stay in Jamaica and don't be a coward and just chop line because you have to be brave to
What
do
is the
that.
chop line? What is chop line? You keep saying chop line.
The scammers. That's what it
Okay.
in his quote in
Oh,
his
sorry.
speech
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what he said.
yeah.
So I
Okay.
guess we should stay in Jamaica and be patriotic and do that. Is that what we're supposed to do?
Yeah,
But
but
anyways,
but but those cameras are nothing in comparison to the oil companies. You know that.
Silver, a corporation is a corporation to make business. If you're running a business, you're not run.
British
And I know as a consumer, I should say yes, But Silver, it's a corporation. It's business. If you're
British.
running a business, you're gonna make a profit. So you want to maximize your profit, right?
Listen to this. Listen to this. They said that Russia and Putin and those guys have messed up things, so therefore they can't get any oil, and the oil price has gone up. BP announced profits of 6.95 billion pounds between guess what? April and June.
April and June, 1 month.
April, April and June. Between April and June alone, British Gas made a profit of 1.3 billion between January and June. Shell has profited by 9.4 billion in a year. That is scammers to the high level, ladies and gentlemen. And then guess what? They said we're going to put windfall tax on these companies in order to give them back, to get money from them to give back to the people. That's a high level scam. That's a high level.
I am a consumer,
Legal
and yes,
corporated.
I pay
Legal.
bills, and I'm a consumer, right?
Yeah.
And I pay bills, but it's corporate, Silver. It's a business.
That's why I said corporate scamming. Legal corporate scamming. Legal
Okay.
corporate scamming.
So you think it's scamming? So what do you think the solution should be then, Silver?
I
That
think the solution.
they should cap the amount of profit that they can make.
Now, I think the solution is I'm seeing my petrol station, the petrol going down. All of them went up at the same time when Russia invade, um, you know, Ukraine. But the petrol stations are going down, and yet the gas and electric in your home, but for the UK they say it's going to go even higher by Opgem, and these guys are making so much money. People are actually getting their direct debits where people are means testing them, and people are not actually paying for what they actually use. It's scamming at a high level. It's a
Okay.
it is, so therefore what needs to be done, and that is what some companies, some people, some movements are going on, is I'm not supporting the one that says don't pay the bill because it's gonna get high. Vita, I lost Vita there, she's gonna come back. I'm not supporting the one. Yeah, you're back. Okay, I'm not supporting the one that says don't pay your bill because that will come back and bite you. But I'm in support of the one that talks about pay what you use instead of
But
using the estimate. They use
oh,
a lot of estimate in the UK.
but that's optional though, Silver. Well, sorry, for here it's optional. Here you pay what you use,
Yeah.
or what I do, I pay the one flat fee monthly automatic payment, And sometimes I do pay more than I use. Sometimes I do pay less because it's a set. It's optional. Depends. And a budget wise, oh, you want to do it.
Yeah.
So if I spend $100 this week and I spend, it depends on what I use. So I could spend $100, but I only use 90. Spend $100, but I only use 110. It's optional what you do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I just think that that's why I'm looking forward to the end of the election for the new leader of the Conservative Party and the new Prime Minister for the UK, because by the time that is done, it is hoped that they will all sit down and work together to sort of deal with this high level of inflation.
So who you think is the best one to deal with that inflation, Silburn?
Whoever wins will have to deal with it.
that was a nice attorney way of getting out of a conversation.
Oh, you're actually trying to find out who I'm going to vote for? Is that what you want?
Well, not who you're going to vote for, but so you could vote for this person, but you think, you know what, maybe on a conservative level, this person would do better for the country, but because of my perspective and belief, I'm voting for this one. I don't want to know who you're voting for. Who is that you think is the best person?
Who I think is the best person? Well, it's going to be either Liz Truss or Rishi Sunak. Why I say that? Because I've got I haven't voted it, and I'm people, and BBC want to interview me again tomorrow. I did some interviews the other day on the radio, and I say, boy, you can't even tell us which one you're voting for. I say, I'm waiting a bit to decide who I'm going to vote for, because I don't think any one of them can really make a big difference, because things are set on autopilot. I think what needs to be done is that they need to actually come together with the different political parties and try to deal with it instead of dealing with the politics. Because right after the new prime minister is in place, they're going to ask for a general election. I can tell you this. They're going to ask for a general election right after. They're going to say he doesn't have a mandate or she doesn't have a mandate.
But Silver, you just said that it's set a certain way, so they're not going to make a difference.
No, what I meant to say, either cannot make a big difference unless everybody comes together. The different political parties come together and try to deal with it. And I believe Russia thing is going to be cooling off soon. Somehow it can't continue forever.
All right, let's go back to Jamaica now, Silver. And I have a question. This has been burning to ask because I want to get your opinion with Lisa Anna. Let's touch Lisa Anna.
Oh, Lisa Anna. What I'm not going to touch Lisa Anna. She's a married woman, isn't it? What do you mean touch?
You know what? I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna beg Shelly. I honestly, it's showing respect to you, and I was not going down that line.
That's Lester. Is Lester? That's a spirit of Lester came upon me a while ago.
That's a Lester answer. I know, but we're not going down that line. So I'm just saying that she decided that
she's
no
stepping
longer
down.
want to represent the PNP party. Represent the PNP party. Not that she's leaving politics, but she just don't want to be representing the PNP
Interesting you said
that was her verbiage.
Interesting.
A representative of the PNP party.
Did she say that?
To me, that was loaded.
Did she say that? Or did she say she's stepping down from political representation?
Political representation of the PNP party.
Did she say of the PNP party? No. One can decide to leave political representation, period, you know?
Right. But she's saying represent. Why she have to? We know she's PNP. Why she have to put the PNP there?
Did she say that? I need to look at it again because that says a lot right there.
Thank you very much. That's loaded, right?
Yeah.
But Silver, the Labour, I don't want him, so I don't know where she's gonna go. NDC.
But maybe she just want to be the president of the world. The queen of the world.
Hey.
When I saw her doing a lot of the videos, I was saying to somebody I can't put my finger as to what she's actually doing, where she's going. So I think she's gonna go into motivational stuff and I think I think she's got a flair and into philanthropy, entrepreneur stuff. I think she's got a lot to offer, really. I think politics will burn her out, you know, especially.
And it can be a burnout too.
Yeah, I think Jamaican politics will burn her out, and I think she has a lot going for herself. So because the constituency that she had, she got it at a high level, and I think she won by 14, and the magisterial count got 30. So I think Aluna Samba was the one before. Seymour Mullins, who I was named after, Seymour Mullins was the one who actually was there for a long time with a great magic. It was a very safe seat. But
Right,
I did,
right.
but my thinking is this: if you say that you're gonna leave, I would say you better leave now, because what you're actually, you're not going to be, your heart is not going to be in it.
Well, I guess it have to be with ethics and work ethics and the morals that, I have this job, so let me just finish up by this time.
No, no,
That's one
politics.
aspect of it.
Yeah,
That's one aspect of it.
yeah, go on. Yeah,
The second part of it, that I guess the government right now kind of glad that she stays, because then it's going to financially cost them to do an election, to do what needs to be done. So it's like she's leaving. She's going to stay until her tenure is over at the
this is what,
time.
2 years time.
So yes, her art not going to be in it, but is it better for her to step down now and just walk away and there's nobody? There's no one there to represent
No, no,
the
I think
people.
just like with Boris Johnson. I mean, everybody want Boris Johnson to go now, even though he's going to go September the 5th when the new leader is in place. But people have
Right.
been asking him to go now because they're saying that it's a dead man walking, a lame duck who is right there, where your heart is not in it because you're on your way out. I think that, and if I was the leader of the opposition, this is me, and an MP says that they're going to step down because you know they're not going to run again, I would say to them, instead of 2 years, can you do it in 6 months? And so they can start to plan to get somebody in place sooner than later. Because the worst thing is if she steps down just before the next election or so, that time of building up that consequence may drop. Even at the same time, I believe the Labour Party might win if there was
Mhm.
a by-election. I think the Labour Party might win because the momentum was there and they were pushing for that place. But if I was a leader, I would say that it's better you pack your bags and go now, as soon as
Well,
possible.
well, in corporate America, you see, Silburn, when somebody give, depends on your level too, because
Yeah.
I know that
Garden leave, and they get garden leave. Keep talking here.
if I resign from my job, my contracts, I have to give them 1 month, right?
Yeah.
But that 1 month is my hardest working month at that company, because I make sure that everything is in place for my successor.
Mm.
But depends on the level where you have. You have people who they put in their 2 weeks and they crash the system before they leave.
Mash it
So
up, especially. Yeah.
right. So what we do is that it's the best thing when somebody puts in 2 weeks notice. You pay them and said, okay. And you know your employees. You pay them and you said, okay, you can work out today. Don't come back tomorrow, but we'll pay you for the 2 weeks. Sometimes it's better to do that.
Mm.
So the fact is that it depends on where the level at where you at. Will she be the one that stopped working? Stop working. She wasn't working anyways. There's nothing that she's gonna do now that she was doing. What was she doing?
What happens normally with high level persons like those, like in the UK or so? They don't stay. As you rightly say, they pay them off, and they call this garden leave. This garden leave is a period whereby they don't work at any place else also for a while because of the trade secrets or so that they may have.
Right. Well, in competition or in a certain zone,
Yeah.
right? So you say they cannot work, like say in the immediate area or go into the same field because they might just oh, they might just train secret. Okay, Sophia. Sophia said they're cowards. They're
Mm.
incompetent, lack vision and ideas in doing things to keep the citizen. Is she talking about the person that said that?
I think she may be referring to the mayor.
Right.
Must be the mayor, the deputy mayor of Montego Bay. You can confirm, Sophie,
And
if
that's
that's what you're
and
talking
that's
about.
what it looked like it is, Sophia. They're not working to keep them, But again, the critical thinking is looking at one of the reasons when I look at critical thinking is looking at the bigger picture, is seeing the overall, not just your perspective, but what is.
Yes.
So is he not seeing that the government can do more for the citizen, but at the same time the citizen have to want more? There's multiple times when I hear people on this platform saying the government put out computers or put out training and the people don't show up.
Yeah.
There's the Art Foundation who are doing, and they don't have, people are not applying. They have spaces, a vacancy, and people are not applying because people decide to, like him and his colleagues, they decide to not work, but just scam people to chop the line.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a brutal
So you have to
viper.
look on both sides.
The thing I was thinking about again, talk about critical thinking, and I flagged this up, and I got some stick for it, and so I think Independence Day, independence was a scam.
Silburn, as a Jamaican, as a proud Jamaican, as Jamaican who love your country, and you're celebrating the love of your country, the success of your athletes and the country of where we are.
Whoa. Well, okay, finish. Keep talking, and I'll show you something what you said a while ago, which is very interesting. Keep talking.
Of who we are and where and how far we have come from, and you're saying that was a scam.
Okay,
and how was that a scam though?
Let me explain to you now. I like what you said right there, and that's why I compartmentalize what I say many times. The attributes and the success of our people is one thing. The success and the attributes of our people is one thing which should be celebrated. Independence, we do not have independence because you cannot have independence where you are actually showing allegiance to a foreign power, to the Queen.
Well, you're an attorney, so I'm not gonna go on.
No. This has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with attorney or not.
But as a Jamaican,
yeah, we are critical thinkers.
We don't have a prime minister. We don't have a. So we are on independence and paper. What are you saying as far as, because Jamaica gained independence 1962? So you're saying we do not have independence. We only have it on paper.
It's on paper. It's on paper.
Okay. So Silburn, as an attorney, what it's written. So isn't that what we're going by? It's in the contract with a Biden.
Just because someone say you're white, you're not white. You're black. Just because it's on paper, say you're white. Does that mean to say you're white?
If it's on paper that I'm white, I'm white. If it's on paper that I'm white, I'm white.
Yeah. And then guess what? Guess what, Vita? We're all looking at you. Everybody here and say, backside, she can't say. She no white, you know. The paper says she's white and she believes she's white. But actually she's black. She needs to wake up and realize we all can see. Or after a while, people are saying, hold on, Vita white, you know. And then years after, people say, Blowo, she no white, you know. She black to backside. But guess what? Because the paper says she's white. Vita, the point is this. It's a process to ultimate independence, what took place in 1962. But it is not independence, because independence is where you're a republic or so, whereby you are swearing allegiance to your country, to your people. The government of Jamaica swears allegiance to Queen Elizabeth. The Governor General is there as a representative of Queen Elizabeth. That's not independence. You can celebrate the achievements of Shelly Ann, Usain Bolt, and that is why this is how the scam works. Let me tell you how the scam works. This is beautiful. It's not deemed as a scam, and I think people are doing it genuinely from their heart. But by linking it with all of the attributes of our people, with the artists and the music and Sanchez and everything with Independence Day, it makes you give that impression that it is independence that we're celebrating the attributes of our people. I know it sounds confusing, but this is critically analyzing and digging deeper, because Bustamante and Michael Mann, they say they are the forefathers of independence. No, we weren't independent. And in slavery, this is the biggest scam. When slavery was abolished, you're now free. They paid off the white farmers, plantation owners, millions of money. equivalent and leave the poor black people with nothing. And right now, people are saying now, hang on a second. They're saying the land in Jamaica is crown land. Government own the land.
Okay. All right, Silburn.
And
Let's say what
yeah.
let's say what you're saying. It do make sense to a lot of the perspective.
I'm just thinking loud. Yeah.
Okay, let's say it do make sense. Okay,
Yeah.
let's say it makes sense. Critical thinking. We cannot go back to 1962. What are we doing now?
This is what we need to do.
What are we doing now?
I tell you what we can do. Let me tell you what we can do. Let me hear what Sophie. I'd rather live in another man's country and they take step off me than in my own country and being disrespected. As Sophie saying a point there. Now, this is what needs to be done. The process of independence started in 1962, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Nothing is wrong with that. But you're not independent if you are swearing allegiance to the Queen, Queen Elizabeth, as a head of state. And even Lisa Anna said it. We've got a problem here. How can we be swearing allegiance to a foreign power, a foreign country, and yet we have to take visas to go to that country, right? Go further. This is what Andrew Holness should have done at this time during this whole period, is to say, following from my discourse with Prince William and Prince William and his wife, and I say we're moving on. In the next 2 years, this is a roadmap to ultimate independence where we become a republic, whereby we're going to be having our vote with the House, and then we're going to go on a road show, and we're going to go on, what do you call it? They're like town hall meetings to educate the people about the whole aspect of being a republic, because they can vote in the House, They can vote in the House, and pass it, but it's got to go to the people for the referendum for it to pass, for you to become a republic. So therefore, there's got to be some education, because the JLP want to have that as a Queen as it to remove it, and PNP also want to, and even UIC, even I can't, from UIC, they're even saying that as well. So there's no opposition politically for that process to happen. So that's why I'm calling it the process to ultimate independence. But we are not independent, and I'm on record by saying that. Boom, boom.
Hey, so for critical thinking, you know that there's always a bigger picture. For critical thinking, you know that you don't know what you don't know. So I'm going to use a critical thinking. I'm going to say, okay, whatever you and the Queen talk about, and that about what is going on.
She listening, and the Queen will listen.
Right. So whatever you and the Queen talk about, and you know what's going on, the bigger picture, I'm not going to defend to say you're wrong or you're right.
Yes.
On paper, I said we're independent. So where are we going and what are we doing with this? Because sitting around and talking over alcohol and having a drink is not going to change it. So what is the next step as far as we as Jamaican? Because it's not just Andrew Holness. It's not just PJ Patterson or Mark Golding going to change it. Jamaicans. But
there's a political process and there's a legal process, right, to ultimate independence. We were conned to think that in 1962 we were independent. That's why everybody run and say we're independent until the penny fell. The penny fell, and then being critical thinkers now, like you and me now, we started to realize and say, hang on a second, Mark Vita, I'm not the only one saying this. We're saying that,
I've heard it a lot. Heard it a lot.
So we're saying, hang on a second. Something is not adding up. How can we be an independent country and say we're independent, and yet we're actually swearing allegiance to the Queen? Even Delano Franklin was on my show one time, and he said, many persons' heart, their heart is a heavy heart. They say allegiance to the Queen. There's a lady in Australia, she's indigenous, was actually recently being sworn in at in Parliament, and she got up and said, I swear allegiance to the colonial master, Queen Elizabeth. And there's an order. She had to do it, and she got like this, I swear allegiance to the Queen. The point I'm trying to say is that you cannot say you're independent if you're swearing allegiance to a foreign power or to someone else who's the head of the state in another country. You got to be independent of yourself, self-identity as a republic, if anything. How that can happen is, I said it out a while ago. The government need to level with the people and say, guys, I know it's written in the book and everything like that. We have been conned. It's in book to say we're independent. Vita, I know it's hard because we learn it in primary school.
I know, I understand, right. But the critical thinking part of it, and of course, last time he said we would like to be independent. What would benefit him, the government of Jamaica now, and we, the people of Jamaica? What would benefit us to say we have been, we have been conned, so therefore this is it? The average Jamaican is thinking that way. The average Jamaican is thinking that we are not independent because we are answering to the Queen. What's the benefit now of saying people, you have been conned, and what are we going to do about it, Silburn?
It is good when truth is realized. When truth is realized and revealed, people get a better sense of understanding. The worst thing is when people feel like they have been taken for a ride and been hoodwinked, and the government of the day is not making it wiser because they know it is not independent. It's a common, this is not an illegal thing. It is common sense. Any well-thinking person can recognize and say, I'm an independent country, Jamaica. I swear allegiance to the Queen. I swear, come on. Something is not adding up there.
I'm not saying nay.
But so Vita, the best thing to do is like what I'm doing now. And I've been doing it. I've been putting it on TikTok, and I'm doing my little bit with other people and saying, guys, you're not an independent country. I know people it's gonna rip people apart because books have been written, things have been done. We learn these things over the years. But the reality is that you cannot say you're an independent country if you're swearing allegiance to a foreign power.
I understand what you're saying, Silburn.
So
I'm
if
not
you understand
disputing. I'm not disputing, but okay, I'm not disputing what you're saying. But what I'm asking you, what are the benefits that you say to the Queen? You con us and you rape her or whatever. No, I'm just saying from this level, right? What is the use now of saying that without changing it first on paper and then deal with it? What is coming public and say we are not Republican now? We're taking her and say Jamaica is not making enough taxes from the people to survive where we are surviving now. We are getting help from England, America, and around the world. Chopping off your nose to spite your face is not the correct thing to do. Critical thinking, that's what we're talking about.
Somebody said to me recently that if we leave the UK and we become a republic, what if a foreign power like Russia or so come to take over Jamaica and blah, blah, blah? You know what I say to them? England never done nothing for Jamaica when Russia and America was going to be at war. Right? Don't listen to me. It was America with Cuba bit. America is not going to let anything happen in their backyard. Right? The United Nations is there. The EU is there. These are countries which are there in place. Jamaica becoming a sovereign country doesn't need the UK to hand things, because the IMF is the one who is giving money to Jamaica. It's not the UK, Vita. It's the IMF that Nigel Clark keep going to and having these discussions. I know this is hard for people to actually get, but we've got to let them know. And young people are analyzing this thing. It's harder for the elders sometimes because we were trained, we were culturalized, we were conned. And the conning bit was also from the Vita. She didn't run with, did she? So Vita, you sound like you're all right with Jamaicans to be bamboozled. Yeah. Same. So let me see. Peace balance. What's yes, same. So we discussed, didn't we? A strategy plan to take us there. Right now, there's no plan, just talk and show actions. So Vita, you sound like you're all right with Jamaica being bamboozled. Guys, I've just been saying this, and the more I'm talking about it, the more it is so real. Somebody said Jamaica is an independent republic, but no, Genesis, Jamaica is not an independent republic. Just go and read something, please. Let me educate you a bit. Jamaica is not a republic. Jamaica swears allegiance to the Queen. Jamaica is not a republic. Maybe you don't know. I know you're not from the Jamaica. You're not in Jamaica. They're still a part of the common. Being a part of the Commonwealth doesn't mean to say that you're independent. As a matter of fact, I consider the Commonwealth waste of space, personally speaking. I had a big meeting one time with the Deputy General Secretary of the Commonwealth many years ago at the House of Commons, and they said the Commonwealth has no great teeth in certain extent. As far as I'm concerned, the Commonwealth plays a fundamental role in somewhat keeping the status quo of the former empire. When people say MBE, OBE, that is what keeps it going, because there's no colony anymore. There's no big countries anymore. So the Commonwealth, these 54 countries, are there as a rubber stamp. It is a part of the fabric of the past. Guys, let us read. Let us think. Think, guys. Think. I could be one man saying this. I could get shut down or whatever like that. But be wise and to be educated and to learn. Learn. It is better the truth come out now than later. I know they say Marcus, I know they say Norman Manley and what's his name, Bustamante was the architect of independence. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not an independent country. That is Jamaica. There it is. 23:59. That's the end of the show. And boom. Let me hear what people say. Exactly. Okay. Not independent, not republic. Neither there. Not Jamaica is not. We did. You get. No, Jamaica is not. We did. You get the history from. Yeah, we're not. Why is Jamaica still a part of the Commonwealth? Jamaica is a part of the Commonwealth because, you know, by the fact of the situation that you are not an independent country or the Queen is still the head of state, then you're part of the Commonwealth. I'm not going to say that is common sense, but that is what it is really. If the Queen is the head of state of your country, you're automatically a part of the Commonwealth. Now, Nigeria and some other countries who are presidents, have their president and they become a republic, they can actually sign up to be still a part of the Commonwealth. Former colonial countries, former countries where the king was the head of state, they can still be a part of the Commonwealth. That is it. But Jamaica, let me tell you for the record, and this is fact, take it to the bank. Jamaica is not an independent country, and Jamaica is still a part of the Commonwealth, and Jamaica is not a republic. Sorry, I'm speaking to somebody on Instagram here, right? Guys, research, read and find out what is independence, right? Sorry to break it to you guys. Anyway, it's been a great night of critical thinking. Scholarship is not the issue or certificate, it is a treatment, the level of disrespect. Okay, Sophia, I'm not picking up which discussion you're coming from. Scholarship is not the issue of certification, it is a treatment, the level of disrespect, the pay, the lack of resource. It is not lining up with the final topic here. Anyway, guys, it is have a good night. May God bless you and keep you, and see you next week. Talk and sip will never be the same again, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, just let you know that. Cheers. Let us be truthful in the things that we say. Let us not play games with people's lives. Let us not be a part of the folly and the fabric of falseness. Let us critically analyze and critically think and critically speak the truth. Because truth is what will set people free. It's very important. And just because someone is in power or a political office That doesn't mean to say that they are wise. And I'm not saying that I'm wise. But the books and a little read can actually dissect some of the things that I'm saying. Because I've been doing some reading and I've been agonizing with this thing when they say Happy Independence Day. I'll say Happy Jamaica Day. I'll say happy to the athletes, happy to the netballers, happy to the runners. But I cannot have my hand on my heart and say Happy Independence Day when I realize and I can see that you cannot be independent unless someone has created another terminology of independence or independence. But my independence, or what I think it is, what I know it is when you have total control, where you're not swearing allegiance to another power. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Silver Insidio. Talking Sip, Saturday night. Peace out. Until next time. Bye-bye. Good afternoon. Night. Have a good night. All the best. Peace out.